Welcome to another edition of Dick's Trips. Usually I only shoot a DIX trip when I'm visiting somewhere new, but this time we're going to go to somewhere that I first visited over 30 years ago. Our story starts on the south coast of England in 1984. This is never before seen footage of the location scout for the second video I was to shoot for Tears for Fears. The song was, of course, Shout. At the time I was working for the band's record label, and when the video was completed, I was asked to show it to the A&R man from their US label. He despised it and sniffed that if the record was to get a US release, a proper American video would have to be made. So when it came time to shoot Everybody Wants to Rule the World a few months later, I resolved to make the video as American as I possibly could, and that's why I found myself here, 100 miles outside Los Angeles, looking at the 10 freeway. The concept for the video was vague and involved singer Kurt Smith driving around in a sports car looking for something. He was going to drive down this road, and the first place he was going to visit was a truck stop. Sports car, desert, truck stop. How much more American could you get? And that's why I chose this place, the Wheel Inn. In the video, Kurt climbs out of his green Austin Healey and makes a call from the phone booth outside. This still from the first day of the shoot shows DP Dave Bridges lining up a shot with a carving of an early settler and his mule. On a whim, I've come to visit the location as it is now, 30 years later. And the news isn't good. The Wheel Inn is closed and up for sale. That intriguing wooden carving is gone. The building has had a cheap facelift, and the booth where Kurt made his phone call has been replaced by a newer one. But it looks forlorn and empty now, and the phone on which I asked Kurt to dial 74688 has long gone. Why 74688? It spells shout. Back in the day, the Wheel Inn was a thriving truck stop. They made excellent pancakes and had a room in the back stuffed with souvenirs. Now it's time to check out the other reason I like this place. The T-Rex can still be seen for miles, and the Brontosaurus has a small shop inside his belly that sells knickknacks. 30 years ago this lot was full of throbbing, idling semis, and the cast and crew slept here the night before the shoot, squeezed inside a motorhome. I was very impressed when Kurt volunteered to sleep on the floor. In the end, the shoot did not go well. We missed the call on the second day and had to grab an improvised shot of Kurt by the Salton Sea 5 minutes after we shook him awake. One of the dancers didn't show up, so the two dancers who did make it had to groove in the sand on their own, and when we reached the final location, it was too late and too dark to shoot Kurt finding what he was looking for, a spare part for his Austin Healey. The irony of all this is that the video I made for Shout, that had attracted so much derision from the US exec, was never replaced and played for months on MTV. And when Everybody Wants to Rule the World was subsequently released, there was no begrudging request for an American remake of the video, and the record went to #1. The moral of our story is you may never rule the world, but you can own the location where the video was shot. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on another DIX trip soon. The Wheel Inn is at the Cabazon exit off the 10 Freeway West, just a few miles out of Palm Springs.